baby.
This is a playground for us. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. But it's unreal how fast the time goes. I start plating. I fill in the tacos with a little bit of the Canadian bacon, and I make pico de gallo out of the piquillo peppers. Then I'm gonna top it off with some crunchy fried noodles. Grease makes things tasty.
And we're gonna mush. I'm happy with my idea of a little tasting plate. So gorgeous, but those noodles, I hate those noodles. No matter what I do to them, they always taste like you're in an institution somewhere. Pump it up.
Chefs, you have got 2 minutes left.
My mind's freaking going nuts.
It's fun, huh?
I don't know if it's fun, man, to be honest with you. Maybe it's gonna make me a stronger person. I've stuffed the peppers. I have to get the salad on. I love different little textures and different little bites, like raw red onions, olives.
We got a minute, guys.
Okay.
Thank you, Giorgio.
You're very welcome, Mr. Allen.
Gotta go, gotta get done.
I'm really confident. I start plating with a very calm pace. That's enough, that's enough.
Go, come on.
My taco needs to have some lime on it. It's the finisher.
Joseph's noodles are still in the water with 23 seconds to go.
I'm my biggest critic, but I'm looking around, and my plate's not the worst looking.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
I completely forgot my tomatillo soup. I have no idea how this happened, but I managed to get a little bit of tomatillo onto every single plate. Good job.
That's awesome.
Bravo.
That's
Beautiful,
awesome.
man.
I'm feeling very good. My plate is neat. I see some kind of a mess of a salad from Joe. I see 2 different plates of tacos from Faye and from Giorgio.
Dude, fried noodles. I used the chicken flavoring. I didn't use the pasta. I don't know.
It's all right.
Sucks. There wasn't any noodles on my plate, but, you know, the rules are use a lot or a little, and I used a little of the chicken base.
Chefs, this is the chopping block. The mandatory ingredients for the appetizer round were Canadian bacon, roasted piquillo peppers, tomatillos, and instant noodle soup. Chef Giorgio.
All right, chefs, what I've made for you today is Canadian bacon tacos, and then I deep fried those noodles just for some texture on top.
By the way, you are the first ever to synchronize your watch.
Am I?
Yeah.
Awesome.
You know, what it said to me is that you really thought about this today.
I agree. And I think you got all the 4 ingredients of the basket. You brought it together very well.
Thank you. This is just kind of like what I like to eat. I try to do what I love.
It's great. I will say that this dish, it's a little salty.
Right on. Thank you.
If you give me a lime, I'm going to go to town.
Right, naturally, yeah.
But it means that you've left me room to do that. And here, it sort of hinders a little bit some of the more delicate touches.
All right.
Thank you, Chef Giorgio. Next, Chef Joe.
I made a tossed salad with stuffed piquillo peppers and a tomatillo vinaigrette.
It's a little haphazard. It's a lot of red onion, and I'm not sure about the nuts either. But my favorite part of this dish, without question, is the piquillo pepper. The goat cheese pairs so beautifully with piquillo peppers and with the Canadian bacon.
If it were just that on the plate, I would like this dish better.
I agree. I just wish you had kept it simple, but the tomatillo sauce was really, really good.
Okay, so were you intending to use the noodles and forgot, or did you just decide not to?
My original plan was to make a soup. I put the noodles in the water, and then I just scratched the whole idea.
It seemed like you, at the end, were still wanted to use those noodles, but didn't. Is that correct?
I used the chicken flavoring. I didn't use the pasta. I don't know. No.
You're being truthful? Or maybe we're wrong.
No. At the end, I was actually happy.
Okay.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with little BS.
Thank you, Chef Joe.
Thank you.
Next, we have Chef Faye.
Yeah, this is a tortilla with Canadian bacon and smoked pepper. And then I was meant to put that tomatillo sauce into a little glass.
Before I even get into the dish, one thing that's just a little bit annoying to me is that you were dancing in front of your plate and then you remember the tomatillo. If you move on, before you start that dance, you got to make sure you have all the ingredients. Because this is what I have for tomatillo on my plate. Do you see that?
I do.
This is what I have.
I do. It's microscopic. I hear you.
However, this is delicious. It's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a really nice, flavorful bite. And overall, I really liked the colors, but I did find the noodles very salty.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the kid that gets picked last in gym class. You put it on the plate because you're supposed to.
Thank you, Chef Faye. Finally, Chef David.
I prepared a traditional Catalan dish called fideuà with Canadian bacon, tomatillos, and piquillo pepper aioli.
I really like the fact that you used the piquillo for an aioli. It was different from what everybody else has done, but it has an overpowering eggy flavor to it.
Okay.
This seems to me like it's screaming for more herbs, just something to give it just another dimension. There's not a whole lot of stuff happening to want you to keep digging in.
I like the tomatillo stewed because it kind of goes nicely with the starch of the pasta, but the taste is very bitter.
So why are you here today?
I really want to win $10,000. My wife is pregnant, so I think that money could really come in handy.
Okay, now the waiting begins. Thank you, chefs.
When I stood up there and there was like a very long silence before anyone commented on the dish.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not a good sign. Giorgio hammed up, literally.
I feel like, I feel like it could really go, either way for me. I really feel like you guys are so solid.
Well, it seemed to me that the instant noodles were the difficult ingredient. Who used them the best?
David was the only person who actually took the noodles and integrated it as a main component of the dish. But to me, the flavors didn't do anything.
Yeah, I think the piquillo sauce tasted kind of like tin.
On the other hand, I love the fact that Giorgio deep-fried the noodles. I think his noodles were executed the best.
Well, let's remember, it wasn't just noodles. It was instant noodle soup, and Chef Joe didn't use the noodles at all.
Maybe that was the best use.
I'm sure that I saw him say to another chef, oh, I forgot the noodles. But then when we asked him, he said, oh, no.
You could very easily decide that leaving out the pasta is enough to get chopped.
That also leads to the issue of Faye. You got barely any tomatillo.
But as distracted as she seemed, that was a fun, whimsical little dish. I would like to actually go back to talk about Chef Joe. That stuffed piquillo was really, really delicious. But that salad had so many ingredients that were not necessary.
Somebody's getting chopped. I think Faye.
I think it's a real toss-up here what's going to happen. So,